What's poppin', y'all? It's your personal trainer Grace here, and today we are going to be talking about my breast augmentation experience. If you follow me on Instagram right here, you would have seen me actually going through the experience through my stories, but now this is going to be more in-depth with all those story clips and everything, so you're not going to be missing out. If you're watching this video, you're most likely looking into getting a breast augmentation yourself, so I will try to give you as much information as I can from my experience so that your experience goes as smooth as possible. I'm not here to promote plastic surgery in any way, shape, or form. This is just my experience, something that I've always wanted. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm not saying you don't have to do it. It's up to you, your decision. Do your own research. Everything in this video isn't the only information about breast augmentation, so definitely do your research before you do any kind of surgery. That being said, I'm gonna go over how many cc's I got, whether I did silicone or saline, what cup size I wanted, obviously what doctor I went to, the incision, the recovery process, the pain, and why I did it. So if you are interested in hearing about my journey, my experience, then keep on watching. Let's start off with why I even got boobs. Let me tell you, I, from a very young age, always thought boobs just looked very feminine and sexy. I just loved how cleavage looked. It could have been because I never had it. I swear to God, my boobs did not grow from the 3rd grade. I remember feeling this lump, and it's pretty much the breast tissue. And I swear to God, it hasn't grown from that at all, my whole life. My boobs were always my biggest insecurity up until I got them done. I'm not saying they're bad. Some girls can rock it. I was not one of those girls that could rock small boobs. I was just why? I always tell people, I'm like, you know what, if I could work on my boobs would be huge. By the age of 15 or 16, I knew I was gonna get a boob job. Especially at that age, 15, 16, you're going through so many emotions and you're turning into a young adult. Definitely wanting a boob job came from a deeper insecurity of not feeling good enough. If you knew me personally, or if you followed me recently on Instagram, you know that I want a boob job. I've told a lot of people, probably more than I should have. There's nothing wrong with how my boobs were before, you know? I mean, I was in the itty bitty titty committee my whole life, and some girls kill it. It wasn't for me. And there are definitely benefits to having smaller boobs, I've noticed now after getting them done. That just wasn't in the cards for me to continue having itty bitty titties. That's my why. Now that I have them, I feel so me, and I feel very happy and very confident. This is how I always pictured myself. Emotionally, I'm a fucking roller coaster. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I feel like this also affected me emotionally because I love seeing myself naked. But before, I used to be I hated taking this part off and seeing. I just hated it. I hated it so much. Oh my God. And it wasn't even I could fake cleavage, you know? I couldn't. It was just little backstory on how I chose my surgeon. I was very set on going to my friend Salt's doctor, Dr. Maniti. I'll put his Instagram right here. And then my client got hers done, and when I saw hers, I was just hooked on the result. So I ended up going to her doctor, which is Dr. Kim, Dr. David Kim. There's 2 of them. So this is where I kind of fucked up. I didn't really do my own research besides looking at his website and his Instagram. Do your research. If you are picking a surgeon, do your research. Try to find reviews on them. I didn't even know to look up reviews of surgeons. So if you are that person, definitely look up reviews. RealSelf.com, you can look up surgeons there and find reviews of other people's experiences. I did not do that. I called the office and asked how to go about getting a breast augmentation, and they said to email Dr. Kim for a quote. So I emailed him, and they said to send pictures, so I sent him pictures of my chest, front, side, and then wish photos, pretty much photos of boobs that I want that he's done, his work. Then he replied back saying he forwarded my email to his staff or something, and then they booked me for, it was all very quick. I emailed him the end of July. I got the surgery August 19th. I had the option to do it via email for the first consultation, or I could have went in person and then pay $100 and then that $100 goes towards the surgery. But it's all the way in Beverly Hills and I live in Chino, and I was like, I don't want to drive all the way over there just for that. It was a $500 deposit for the pre-op. You have to do the deposit to even get a pre-op consultation. The day of the pre-op consultation was the first time I met all of them, the staff, him. The receptionists were very snobby. I walked in, they don't even greet you. Or at least the experience I had, they didn't even greet me. They were just like, what's your name? Like, I'm good, how are you? I'm just kidding, kind of. So then I met Dr. Kim, and he's just very emotionless and like straight to the point, no bullshit. Just like, this is what you're here for. This is what's gonna happen. All right, we're good. See you on the day of surgery. It's pretty much how it went. The consultation with him was like 3 to 5 minutes long of me talking to him. I didn't really have any questions. Any questions that I did have, I just emailed him and he replies very, very fast. The way that he doesn't like put sizers in and see what size you want. He just tells you to tell him what cup size you want and to show him a picture the day of surgery of what you want. That's all he requires. That's how you know he eats, sleeps, and breathes boobs. Hands down. He doesn't even like size you or anything. I guess because there's just so much that goes into sizing the width of your rib cage and like the breast tissue that you already have, your skin elasticity. Like there's so much more that goes into it that sizing isn't really effective. Like it's not gonna look the same, if that makes sense. And I kind of knew this before going into this consultation because my client was like telling me all about her experience and it was pretty much the same thing. We talked about what cup size I want. He like took a look at me, went over like silicone and saline really quickly. I already knew that I wanted silicone. He pretty much explained the difference. Saline is literally like a bag of water. What's good about that is that if it were to burst, your body just absorbs the saline. But the downfall is that you could see like the ripples of the implant. But with silicones, they appear very flat, you don't see any ridges, and they feel like tissue. It feels like real boobs versus like a bag of water. So I went with saline. The only thing I asked him actually was about the gummy bear implant. But I guess those were recalled because something about the texture of them was bad. I thought I wanted a gummy because it's shaped like a teardrop, because I didn't want round to be like too fake looking. I always wanted a very natural appearance, like it looks like I just have boobs. So I was like leaning towards the gummy teardrop because that's even more natural. After the consultation, I just signed a bunch of paperwork and then I brought home a little folder of the instructions like post-op and pre-op, and then I picked up all my medication. I believe I had to take antibiotics, pain medicine, and then there was this one medicine, I don't know what it was, but I had to take it 3 hours before surgery. The surgery was like a week after my pre-op. I wasn't able to drink alcohol 2 weeks before surgery and no ibuprofen or aspirin 2 weeks before surgery. The day before surgery, you have to take off all your jewelry. They told me to shower with antibacterial soap, so like Dial, and not to put any lotion or hair gel or mousse. Take off nail polish and to wear loose clothes, to wear like a shirt with a zip up in the front. Not your sports bra that you're supposed to wear after. So keep in mind, if you are somebody looking into breast augmentations, there are risks to it. Obviously you'll have surgical complications. There's breast implant illness, I believe that's what it's called, and then capsular contracture. Pretty much what that is, I know more about that than I do the breast implant illness. But I do know the breast implant illness is pretty severe for the people that did get it. Getting an explant helped them. So if you want to look more into that, definitely you can do your research. I don't know too much about it. Capsular contraction. So pretty much anytime you have like a cut or scar tissue that grows to make the cut or the wound stronger. So that's obviously going to happen when you get implants. So scar tissue is naturally going to just form around the implant. Capsular contracture is when that happens, but it happens so severely that there's so much excess scar tissue, it gets insanely hard. And then also be painful. Your implants will start to come up because everything's just getting really, really tight. There's no actual cause, because I looked it up and there were literally sites saying it could just be that you're unlucky. But to prevent it, because it's scar tissue, all you really need to do is just massage. Be on top of massaging your boobs, even if it hurts, even if it feels weird, because that will keep them so soft and prevent capsular contracture. Some quick little implant information that I wanted to give you guys. Brand implant I got was Mentor Memory Gel Breast Implant. The total cost of the surgery was $10,275. At least we had the $500 deposit, so it was like $9,000 something. So I was like, it's cheaper. It wasn't cheaper. My right, I got 375 cc's. My left, I got 350 cc's. I got smooth, round, high profile. Incision is down here, but you can go in through the armpit, you can go in through the areola, you can go in under here, and then you can go through your belly button. I think you can only do saline though if you go through the belly button. And then I went under the muscle. We never even talked about cc's. No, just kidding. Because he just couldn't give me like an answer because he truthfully didn't know. Oh yeah, so when he does it, he puts a sizer. So you're in surgery, blah, blah, blah. You show him the picture. After he creates the pocket, he uses air as like a sizer. And then he like blows up your boob as if the implant was in there and compares it to the picture that you showed him. And then whatever that looks like, he uses whatever cc's fills that up. Yeah, so I went into surgery not knowing what cc's I was gonna get. So the first thing I asked when I woke up, I was like, what did I get? And when I heard 350, I was like, by the way, I'm 5'3" and I'm like 112 pounds. And my bust right here is 28 inches. I measured myself and I am now a 32 double D. I used to be a 32 double A. Actually, technically I'm a 28. I'm a 30 double D. A, B, C, D, E. I'm an E. The cup size that I asked for was like a full C small D. And I got double Ds. The fact that this is a double D goes to show that I never really understood cup sizes, because this is like exactly what I wanted. Sometimes I feel like this is small, I'm not gonna lie. There are so many phases since I got them done where I'm like, oh my god, they're too big. Oh my god, they're too small. Oh my god, I love them. And like, it would just be that constant to this day. In the day of surgery, it was like 7:45 in the morning. It was pretty early, and it's about an hour 15 away from us. Walked into the little surgery room, his little office. Got to change into your surgical gown and your cap and your socks and your undies, and then they told me to come sit down in the recovery room. They did the IV. They had to poke me like 3 times. This is usually my good vein because I had to get a lot of blood tests back in the day, and then she ended up having to like come somewhere here. I never had an IV here, so that scared the shit out of me. I was like, fuck, this cannot be happening right now. They take me to the room, and this was my first time ever getting surgery, ever getting knocked out, anything like that. If you've never been knocked out before, it pretty much feels like you're going to sleep. It feels like a nap. Like, that's the best way I could explain it. I want to say surgery was from 10 to 12, something like that. I woke up and I was in the recovery room again. The first thing they asked me was my pain level. So they were like, what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? I didn't even talk. I was like, 3. And then I went back to sleep. What it felt like 10, 15 minutes later, they asked me again. They were like, okay, what's your pain level? And I was like, it went up. I was like, why is it going up? But they were like, okay, that's perfect. But as soon as I woke up, I was just very, very groggy. This felt super tight. Oh yeah, I was wrapped up in the bandage, but it just felt extremely tight. Like, I felt like I couldn't move from this position. That first night sucked. And the car ride was horrible because any kind of movement kind of hurt. So for the first week, I had to sleep sitting pretty much upright, like 2 or 3 pillows behind my back. That sucked. And you can't use your hand to like get yourself up. My recovery process didn't start until the 2nd day. Right after surgery, you have to go back in the next day for your follow-up appointment. Around 5 a.m., I started feeling a lot of pain, and it was only on the one side of my boob. And I also felt in my bandage something kind of like drip right here. I only felt it once. I wasn't sure what that was or if that was anything. I was in so much pain. I'll show you guys the screenshots of when I was texting Saul and my client, because I was like, you guys said there's no pain. I was so mad. I was like, why am I feeling so much pain? Is there gonna be more pain? Were you guys lying to me? I was pissed. I really thought I wouldn't feel any pain, and you're not supposed to feel any pain. It literally felt like the inside of my left boob was on fire. Like, it felt like it was burning from the inside out. Any little movement hurt so bad. So we go to the appointment, he cuts the bandage, and when he sees it, my left boob is like twice the size of my right. It is so swollen and it was bleeding from the incision. So that drip that I felt, it was a drip indeed. And then he looked so irritated and his whole staff was irritated. And he was just like, oh, we're gonna have to go in there and suck it out. I was like, okay, cool, how do you do that? And I was like, wait, do you have to put me back to sleep? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I was like half like freaking the fuck out and then half just like, I'm in so much fucking pain, do whatever you need to do to fix this. Thankfully I didn't eat anything. I just had like half a protein shake because you can't have food if you're gonna be put under. And I actually just learned this from TikTok, explaining why you can't eat if your body get anesthesia. Anesthesia pretty much numbs all of your muscles. So if you were to eat and have a full stomach, your muscles aren't working to digest anymore. So it'll come up.
No reflexes, remember? What happens when you can't get food out of your lungs? You're gonna choke, and then you're gonna die. Now, why would you want this to happen to you? We certainly don't. No eating in the ERs, motherfuckers.
So it makes sense why you can't eat. I don't know if they were like not supposed to have surgeries that day because everybody was pissed. The whole surgical staff was so irritated. So the anesthesiologist, I don't know why, but you know what? Maybe they were understaffed thinking about it. The anesthesiologist put the IV in. He tried this one because she already tried this one the day before and it didn't work. When he tried this one, he got it in, but the IV split. I was like, can you just do this one? Like, I know this is a good vein. Just do my left vein. And he was so rude and irritated by everything. I was like, I'm in so much pain and you guys are mad that you have to stay here a little bit longer. Pretty much what it was is a hematoma. I was bleeding internally in my left boob. So you can imagine the pain that I was in. So then they walked me over to the OR. The operating table was, say these are my hips. The operating table was like a good couple inches above my hips. So I would have had to use my arms to get up, sit up on the bench, and use my arms to lay back. Nobody was helping me. And I'm like over here trying. One of the nurses, like as she was walking me to the OR, she was like, oh my god, how are you not crying? Like, are you in pain? I was like, just because I'm not crying doesn't mean I'm not in pain. I'm in so much pain that I can't even react at this point. They're like trying to have me get on the operating table. Obviously I can't. Like, nobody's helping me. I can't use my arms. And then I see a stool in front of me, so I was like, can I have a stool or something? They're like, oh yeah. It brings me high enough to where I can sit on top of the table. They're like, okay, lay down, sweetie. I'm like, okay, I need help. Somebody needs to like literally carry me down because I'm in pain and I can't use my arms. Like, you guys should know this. I was so confused. The anesthesiologist was behind me and I literally like turned around like this and I asked him, I was like, can you like guide me down? Can you kind of put me down? As he's helping me down, I see the medication going into my IV. I'm not even laid down and they're already trying to knock me out. And I was like, you know what? Just take me now. Knock me the fuck out. As soon as I woke up, I felt no pain at all, which was amazing. And it was a different nurse when I woke up. She was asking me pretty much the same questions. She told me that the surgery, it looked like a volcano when they were taking out the blood. I was like, y'all should have recorded that. I thought that was kind of shocking that it shocked her how much blood was coming out of me. After the second surgery, I felt so much better. No pain, just discomfort and a lot of tightness. I think because I had no breast tissue. He was saying that Asians have tighter skin. The tightness and the discomfort that I felt for a good like 2 weeks. Non-stop. First 2 weeks I would say are the hardest, definitely the first week, but that also depends on you and your skin elasticity. I think it was because my skin is so tight and I had so little breast tissue before that the tightness was kind of like extremely discomforting. Some of the things that I had to do, part of the recovery process, I had to sleep on my back for 3 months. I was able to shower after 48 hours. After 3 days of surgery, you can start massaging them. He kind of just showed me to just pretty much you want to squeeze under and then squeeze on top hard and just continue doing that, and I do that still to this day. And then after a week, you can just start doing it harder. I had to wear my post-op sports bra with a zipper in the front for a whole month, day and night. After After that, it's only nighttime. You could start wearing regular bras, just no padding. The bra that I have now has an underwire, but no padding. I mean, yeah, why would I get padding? That's literally why I got boobs. For the first 2 months, no lifting anything heavier than 10 pounds. Pretty much if you were to like accidentally activate your chest muscle, it would contract and it would push the implant down. Do not want that. So just don't lift anything. As far as working out, I couldn't work out for the first month. It has to do with your blood pressure because you don't want your blood pressure to get too high and like accidentally open up an incision. After a month, I was able to do body weight workouts, and then after 2 months, I was able to slowly incorporate weights again. During the recovery, I literally just ate chicken soup and rice. One other thing that kind of sucks, I want to say other because of that other complication that happened. I have a pretty big scar right here in the middle of my boob. Dr. Kim said it was from a reaction to the tape on my skin, because there's one right here, I'll put a picture, and then there's 2 little ones right here. But what I don't get, why is it that the tape was everywhere but my skin only reacted in 2 spots? That doesn't make sense to me, and it looks like a burn. It looks like they put a tool on my chest and they burnt me. That's what I think. I don't know. I will never know. It is what it is. As far as sensitivity, definitely couldn't feel them at all for the first week. Couldn't feel anything. It just felt like there was 2 balls on my chest. They were like this high. It's crazy how much boobs drop. I don't think I got that back until like week 2. And then I couldn't feel my nipples. The left one took a lot longer to come back. It's back. They're back. We're good. The bottom of my boob I can't feel. The sensation's very like, it feels numb. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels numb, and more numb in some places than others. But honestly, I'm just happy that I can even feel them. I've heard stories where people lose their nipple sensation completely. They lose sensation of their whole boobs completely. Once the nipple sensation came back, it feels like how it was before, and it's not like overly sensitive or like not sensitive. Like, it's just normal. This might be TMI, but it is what it is. Apparently it's happened to a lot of people. I couldn't shit for a week, and I usually go every morning, and my stomach was bloated. Like, I'll put pictures and videos. I'm talking bloated. Like, I looked so inflamed. That wasn't fun. It was painful too. So I had to go back to get my stitches removed. I was so scared about getting the stitches removed. Anything where I'm like awake and I possibly can feel pain, it scares me. So for the stitches, he literally just pulled it out. I couldn't even feel it. I could just see him pull it out. I was like, oh. As far as scarring, it does look pretty dark, but it's flat. I think if I were to just start using like a scar treatment cream, it would lighten it up so fast. I had follow-up appointments pretty much every week for the first month. At one of the appointments, he thought that they were still sitting pretty high, so he gave me a bandage and he had me wrap it around and just like tie it here so that it could push it down. I think they dropped beautifully. I love how they look. I feel like they complete me. I am so happy. I feel so much more confident. Don't get me wrong though, I still have my insecurities. I still have my problems. Boobs did not cure my problems, nor will they. I mean, this is just something that I personally wanted for years. It just looks exactly how I pictured myself. I know this isn't really a normal video here on my channel because we are about fitness, and this is not fitness, but this is something that I experienced and I wanted to share this with you guys. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you are looking for more fitness videos, definitely subscribe to this channel. Like the video if you like this video. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching.